Let's make our way through variables. So variables. In programming, a variable is a container for a value. You can think of variables as little containers for information that live in a computer's memory. Information stored in variables such as username, account info, or even personalized greeting can be found in memory. Variables also provide a way of labeling data with a descriptive name, so our programs can be understood more clearly by the reader and ourselves. In short, variables label and store data in memory. There are only a few things you can do with variables. Create a variable with a descriptive name. Store or update information stored in a variable. Get information, and that's get with quotes, information stored in a variable. It is important to distinguish that variables are not values, they contain values, and represent them with a name. Observe the diagram with the colored boxes. Each box represents variables. The values are represented by the content, and the name is represented with the label. In this lesson, we will cover how to use the var, let, and const keywords to create variables. Instructions: when you're ready to start, click the next. Okay, so we're moving on to the next exercise. Create a variable var. There were a lot of changes introduced in the ES6 version of JavaScript in 2015. One of the biggest changes was two new keywords, let and const, to create or declare variables. Prior to ES6, programmers could only use the var keyword to declare variables. Var myname equals arraya, console log myname, output arraya. Let's consider the example above. Var, short for variable, is a JavaScript keyword that creates or declares a new variable. myname is a variable's name. Capitalizing in this way is a standard convention in JavaScript called camel casing. In camel casing, you group words into one. The first word is lowercase, then every word that follows will have the first letter uppercased. Camel casing. Equals is the assignment operator. It assigns the value arraya to the variable myname. Arraya or aria, I'm not sure how this is said, is the value assigned equal to the variable myname. You can also say that the myname variable is initialized with the value aria or arraya. After the variable is declared, the string value aria is printed to the console by referencing the variable's name, console log myname. There are a few different rules for naming variables. Variable names cannot start with numbers. Variable names are case sensitive, so my name and my name, one has one uppercase N, the other one doesn't, would be different variables. It is bad practice to create two variables that have the same name using different cases. Variable names cannot be the same as keywords. For a comprehensive list of keywords, check out the MDN's keyword documentation. Note, in the next exercise, we will learn why ES6 let and const are the preferred variable keywords by many programmers. Because there is still a ton of code written prior to ES6, it is helpful to be familiar with the pre-ES6 var keyword. If you want to learn more about var and the quirks associated with it, check out the MDN var documentation. Declare a variable, this is the instructions now, declare a variable named favorite food using the var keyword and assign it to the string pizza. Okay, so we were going to say var and type in favorite food, and food's going to be capital F because we're camel casing, and then we're going to assign it to a string named pizza and run it. Looks like that worked. Let's declare a variable called num of slices. So var num and of slices, camel case, and equals 8. Let's run that. And that works. Great. Under the num of slices variable, use console.log to print the value saved to favorite food. On the following line, use console.log to print the value saved by num of slices. Okay, so we will console.log favorite food, and then we'll just do it again. Num of slices. And let's run that. And that's the end of this lesson. Let's move over to the next one. Create a variable let. As mentioned in the previous exercise, the let keyword was introduced in ES6. The let keyword signals that the variable can be reassigned a different value. Take a look at the example. Let meal equals a string called enchiladas. If you console log that meal, the output will be enchiladas. Now, if you just write meal equals a string called burrito and you console log after that, it's going to give you an output of burrito, so the value of meal has changed. Another concept that we should be aware of when using let and even var is that we can declare a variable without assigning the variable a value. In such a case, the variable will automatically initialize with a value of undefined. So let price, console log price, output is undefined. Price equals 350, console log price, output will be 350. Notice in the example above, if we don't assign a value to a variable declared using the let keyword, it automatically has a value of undefined. We can reassign the value of the variable. Create a let variable called changeMe and set it equal to the Boolean true. Let changeMe equal true. And we'll run that. Great. On the next line, after changeMe is declared, set the value of changeMe to the Boolean false. To check if changeMe was reassigned, log the value saved to changeMe to the console. Okay, changeMe equals false, console.log changeMe, and run. And it is false. Let's go to the next lesson. Create a variable, const. The const keyword was also introduced in ES6 and is short for the word constant. Just like with var and let, you can store any value in the const variable. The way you declare a const variable and assign a value to it follows the same structure as let and var. Take a look at the following example. Const myname equals Gilberto. Console.log myname output Gilberto. However, a const variable cannot be reassigned because it's a constant. If you try to reassign a const variable, you'll get a type error. Constant variables must be assigned a value when declared. If you try to declare a const variable without a value, you'll get a syntax error. If you're trying to decide between which keyword to use, let or const, think about whether you'll need to reassign the variable later on. If you do need to reassign the variable, use let. Otherwise, use const. Create a constant variable named entry and set it equal to the string enchiladas. So const equals string capital E enchiladas. And we'll run that. You probably caught this while I was doing it. Entry equals enchiladas. Perfect. Just to check that you saved the value of enchiladas to entry, log the value of entries to the console. So console.log entry. And we could see enchiladas comes to the console. Great, let's see what happens if you try to reassign a constant variable. Paste the following code to the bottom of the program, okay? This code, there is the following error when you run your code. Type error, assignment to constant variable. After you clear this checkpoint, if you want to see another quirk of const in action, open the hint. Okay, so first we want to entry tacos and run that. That's done, and take a look at the hint. Since our program stops running after encountering an error, we need to delete the line of code from the previous step. Okay. Now let's test what happens when you try to declare a const variable without a value. Paste the following code into your program. Const testing. You should see a different error this time. I do see a different error this time related to syntax error. Great, let's go to the next one. Mathematical assignment operators. Let's consider how we can use variables and math operators to calculate new values and assign them to a variable. Check out the example below. Let w equal 4, w equals w plus 1, console.log w, output 5. In the example above, we created the variable w with the number 4 assigned to it. The following line, w equals w plus 1, increases the value of w from 4 to 5. Another way we could have reassigned w after performing some mathematical operation on it is to use built-in mathematical assignment operators. We could rewrite the code above to be, let w equal 4, w plus equals 1, console.log w, output will also be 5. In the second example, we use the plus equals assignment operator to reassign w. We're performing the mathematical operation of the first operator plus using the number to the right, then assigning w to the computed value. We also have access to other mathematical assignment operators. Minus equals, multiply equals, and divide equals, which work in a similar fashion. There are examples of each one of those. Let's practice using these mathematical assignment operators. Instructions. Use the plus equals mathematical assignment operator to increase the value stored in level up by 5. So level up needs to go up by 5, and here's where we're supposed to do our assignments in the space below. So level up will plus equal 5. That should do it. Let's take a look. Oh, let me get up spelled correctly. That did work. Use the minus equals mathematical assignment operator to decrease the value stored in power level by 100. Okay. Power level, and that was minus equals, and we want to take away 100. And run that. Perfect. Use the multiply equals mathematical assignment operator to multiply the value stored in multiply me by 11. Multiply me is, so multiply equal 11, and we'll run that. Perfect. Use the divide equals mathematical assignment operator to divide the value stored in quarter me by 4. So quarter me, let's divide equal 4, run. Perfect, that all worked. Let's go on to the next one. The increment and decrement operator. Other mathematical assignment operators include the increment operator plus plus and the decrement operator minus minus. The increment operator will increase the value of the variable by 1. The decrement operator will decrease the value of the variable by 1. For example, if a equals 10, a plus plus will equal 11. If b equals 20, b minus minus will equal 19. Just like the previous mathematical assignment operators, plus equals, minus equals, multiply equals, divide equals, the variable's value is updated and assigned as a new value of that variable. Using the increment operator, increase the value of gained dollar. Okay, so gained dollar, and we're going to do the plus plus and run. That is correct. The decrement operator. Okay, so lost dollar needs to have a minus minus after it. Lost dollar minus minus. And let's run that. Great, let's go to the next section. String concatenation with variables. In previous exercises, we assigned strings to variables. Now let's go over how to connect or concatenate strings to variables. The plus operator can be used to combine two strings values even if those values are being stored in variables. Let my pet equal armadillo. Console.log, I own a pet, and that's a string, plus my pet plus a string that's period on it will print out I own a pet armadillo. In the example above, we assigned the value armadillo to the myPet variable. On the second line, the plus operator is used to combine three strings. I own a pet, the value saved in myPet, and period. We log the result of this concatenation to the console as I own a pet armadillo, period. Create a variable named favorite animal and set it equal to your favorite animal. Okay, so we're going to do let favorite animal, and we'll set it equal to human. Let's see what happens there. Great. Use console.log to print my favorite animal to the console. Use string concatenation so that animal is replaced with the value of your favorite animal variable. Okay, so console.log. It'll be my, capital, my favorite animal. And then after that, we want a space. I think we could do it like that. Plus, and then favorite animal. That looks good to me. Let's take a look. That did work. My favorite animal is a human. String interpolation, or interpolation, however you might say it. In the ES6 version of JavaScript, we can insert or interpolate variables into strings using template literals. Check out the following example where a template literal is used to log strings together. Const myPet equals armadillo. Console.log with backticks in front of it instead of single quotes. I own a pet, $, open up brackets, my pet, period after the brackets close, and a closing tick instead of a quote. Notice that a template literal is wrapped in backticks. This key is usually located on the top of the keyboard to the left of the 1 key. Inside the template literal, you'll see a placeholder, myPet. The value of myPet is inserted into the template literal. When we interpolate I own a pet, my pet, the output we print is a string I own a pet, armadillo. One of the biggest benefits to using template literals is the readability of the code. Using template literals, you can more easily tell what the new string will be. You also don't have to worry about escaping double quotes or single quotes. Create a variable called my name and assign it to your name. Const my name is, and then it's going to be a string, I imagine. Anthony Santo. Let's run that. Great. Create a variable called myCity and assign it to your favorite city's name. Well, that's a tough one for me. I've lived in a lot of places. Const myCity. I just got back from Penang, which was really, really nice. So I'm going to do Penang, run that. Using a single template literal to interpolate your variables into the sentence below. Use console.log to print your sentence to the console in the following format. My name is capitalized name. My favorite city is capitalized city. Replace name and city in the string above by interpolating the values saved to my name and my city. So we're going to console.log. We're going to put in backticks. Right, my name is $, bracket, and then the variable my name, close the bracket. We'll need a period after the closed bracket, a space. My favorite city is $, open bracket, and my city, close bracket. Let's run that. My name is Anthony Santo. My favorite city is Penang, and I didn't put a period at the end. That's how these things get you. And the period didn't work either, and oh, right here it is. My name is. Let's run that. Great, let's go on to the next one. Variables. Type of operator. While writing code, it can be useful to keep track of the data types of the variables in your program. If you need to check the data type of a variable's value, you can use the typeof operator. The typeof operator checks the value to its right and returns or passes back a string of the data type. Const unknown equals a string foo. Console.log typeof unknown will output string, and so on with number and boolean. Let's break down the first example. Since the value unknown1 is foo, a string, typeof unknown1 will return string. Use console.log to print the type of new variable. Console.log, then it was type of, and then new variable, string. Great. Now let's check what happens if we reassign the variable. Below the console.log statement, reassign variable to 1. Console.log statement. New variable equals 1. And we'll run that. It still says string. Since you assigned this new value to a new variable, it has a new type. On the line below your reassignment, use console.log to print the type of new variable again. Okay, I'll just grab it and paste it. Let's run that. String and then number after we reassigned it. Great, one more here. It's the review on variables. Nice work. This lesson introduced you to variables, a powerful concept you will use in all your future programming endeavors. Let's review what we learned. Variables hold reusable data in a program and associate it with a name. Variables are stored in memory. The var keyword is used in pre-ES6 versions of JavaScript. Let is the preferred way to declare a variable when it can be reassigned, and const is the preferred way to declare a variable with a constant value. Variables that have not been initialized store the primitive data type undefined. Mathematical assignment operators make it easy to calculate a new value and assign it to the same variable. The plus operator is used to concatenate strings, including strings values held in variables. In ES6, template literals use backticks and the open close braces to interpolate values into a string. The typeof keyword returns the data type as a string of a value. Great, we got through this one. Let's move on to yet another one.